Oh, so long ago. That's not the words of that song. Long time ago. Okay. Years ago, one of my previous projects I was working safety at, we would start every morning in the what was known as the 300-man tent and do a safety message. But after the meeting, my buddy and I would go out of the turn building, start doing our morning rounds of signing hot permits, taking confined space gas readings, signing confined space permits. Sometimes it would take me roughly 20 to 25 minutes if I was doing it by myself, but sometimes my buddy would start where I would end, and then we would just meet in the middle and send everyone to work sooner. Which means most of the time, I do them on my own. But this particular morning came around, and I get to the third elevation of the turret building. But the Boilermakers were up there usually waiting on me to go inside the condensers. And normally there was, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 15 guys, give or take. I forget the exact number, but I don't really think it matters for this story. But normally there would be several guys up there waiting for me. Sometimes if my buddy got there before me, nobody would be waiting for me because they would be inside working. But this morning I rolled up and nobody was there. So I walked right up to the attendant and asked if my buddy had gotten up there to sign the permit yet, and he looks up at me and goes, I don't know. So I take a look at the permit, and lo and behold, nobody had done the gas testing, nobody had put the readings down, nobody had signed the permit, making the permit active that would allow people to go inside to go to work. None of this had been done. So I stopped the job, took the attendant's air horn, blasted it inside of the condenser, which told everyone that, hey, it's time to get your butt out. But like I said, I pulled everyone out and told them all to get down to the trailer after briefly telling them what had just happened. Now, I had to stay with the attendant because I was pretty sure several of the guys up there with me, if not at least one of them, was ready to throw hands with the attendant. Obviously, they were not happy. That's one thing a lot of you have to realize with some of these jobs. Some people don't give a shit about throwing hands and will be happy to either go to the next job or would be more than happy to go to jail. So you really need to watch how you talk to people. You can't talk to people like you can't get punched in the mouth, because you can. And if you're not careful, you will. But needless to say, the superintendent, once they got to the trailer, they were not happy. And the come to Jesus meeting that was done in that trailer was certainly one for the books. I was very happy I was not on the receiving end of that discussion. So what ended up happening? Well, thankfully, nobody was hurt. Nobody was injured. Nobody got sick. Nobody, thank the Lord, nobody was killed. But the attendant got fired. The foreman over the crew got fired. The general foreman got bumped down to a foreman. And everybody who was inside of the condenser at the time that I came around was all suspended for 1 week without pay. I feel like it was a pretty justifiable punishment. But this was a leadership decision. This had nothing to do with how health and safety felt about the disciplinary actions, and we did not give any kind of suggestion as to what should have happened to these guys. I've always said that I don't feel like health and safety should have a hand in disciplinary measures. I feel like if we're asked, we can give our support, we can give our opinions or suggestions, but health and safety should not be the ones doling out disciplinary actions. They should not be out there writing people up for not wearing PPE. They shouldn't be there escorting people off the job site. That's not the role of health and safety. And I hate how a lot of projects put that on the health and safety professional, because that doesn't do anything but deter people from health and safety, where we should be a profession that is known for supporting people and there to help people. That's just my opinion, though. If you don't like it, give me your opinion down below. I've got to say that the Boilermakers at that job site were hands down one of the best. I probably just peeked the mic. They were hands down the best crew at that job site. I honestly missed the hell out of them. So shout out to you guys if any of you are watching. But what do we take away from this? What are some lessons learned that we can take from this? A little bit of operational experience, otherwise known as OE. I almost said OE, but a lot of people aren't going to know what that means, but now you do. So, number one, the first thing that we can take away from this is the confined space attendant position is one of the most important positions during a confined space activity. And this position, unfortunately, normally gets placed with someone who has never been in the industry before, or a troublemaker who can't really be tasked with doing anything else. We normally just sit them in front of the hole and say, here's a pen, Here's your permit. Here's your attendant roster, your entry lot roster. Just fill it out for whoever comes in. And that's usually all the training that we give specifically to attendants. But when the entry supervisor is not present, that attendant is like the official, unofficial entry supervisor. They can stop the job. They can pull everyone out of the space. They can deny anyone access from going inside. They are responsible for making sure that everything around the space is in a safe condition, and making sure to see the condition of everyone who comes out of the confined space and shutting it down if they think that that person could be overexposed to a harmful gas. And now there are a variety of ways of being able to identify this, but we're not going to get into it all for this video. So don't chew me out in the comments section because, there's no way that the attendant can do that unless they've got this training and they know how to do it. We know. We get it. Just chill out. So it is very important to treat this position with the respect it deserves and make sure those that we put in this position fill that role properly. And number 2, anyone who goes inside of a confined space, they should put their eyes on the permit prior to going inside. Make sure that the testing has been done. Make sure that it has been signed, which would make the permit active for those to go inside. Don't think to yourself that the attendant wouldn't let anyone go inside if neither of those things hadn't already been done, because this story should tell you otherwise. The guys in my story are lucky. They are very lucky because there are so many stories of people going inside of a confined space only to never come out again because they were exposed to some kind of harmful gas. There's a term called trust but verify. And everyone in this industry needs to get very familiar with it. But what it means is, I trust you that you're doing your job the way you're expected to perform it, the way that you've been trained to perform it, the way that you understand it to be done. But my safety is on the line, and I just want to verify the information for myself. If you don't do it for that reason, then do it just so that if someone asks you a question about the testing or the approval of the permit, you can honestly look that person in the eye and say, yeah, I looked at the permit, testing was good, and it was signed off. So yeah, we're ready to go to work. Additionally, your family and your friends would not want you to put your safety in someone else's hands. So trust that they're doing their job. Whether it's a attendant, whether it's a supervisor, you trust them that they're doing their job the way that they're supposed to, but your safety is on the line. You just have to verify it for your own well-being. It's not to say that you don't trust this person that you don't think that they can do their job. It's nothing related to that. If someone asks you to look at a permit after you've just told them it's been signed, it's been tested, don't get your panties in a twist because you think that they're second-guessing you. Yeah, they're second-guessing you, but not for the reasons that you think they are. They just want to verify for themselves so they can tell their family later on that they've done everything in their hands to work safely that day. It's got nothing to do with you. So stop being so sensitive or insecure or, whatever. Stop being stupid. And number 3, just follow the process. Most places have a confined space entry program. They require several steps to be performed before being able to go to the next step. For this specific item, they required gas testing to be done prior to the approval of the permit being made. But this allows people to be able to go inside the condenser to perform their work. The confined space permit is there to make sure that the process is properly planned, it's properly executed in such a way that the entrance can go inside of the entrance can go inside of the space and do their job safely and without issue. Confined space work could quite honestly be one of the most hazardous activities that you can deal with, and it is very, very important to make sure shortcuts are not taken. If you go back and look at nearly every incident that has occurred within a confined space, you will see the incidents occurred because there were shortcuts taken or because people just didn't know. They weren't properly trained. They had no idea to the risks that were involved. Processes are designed for a reason. Whether you like the reasons that the process is designed that way, that's not really up for debate. Nobody really gives a shit unless you have a better way unless you have a way to being able to improve the process. But if you don't have any other better way to improve the process, just follow the process as it's explicitly written in the procedure. But processes are designed for a reason, and prior to going inside of confined space, each step of the process must be handled with the caution and the respect that it deserves. Because when we start letting our guard down, when we start getting too cocky, or we start to fail to understand the level of risk which is involved, that is when people start dying and families get smaller. Hey, thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. That's greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, go down, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and if you got any value out of this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you could share it to others. Let's help to spread the wealth, spread the knowledge, and help other people get value out of this video as well. That's what it's there for, me helping you. Do with it what you will, but at least help out the channel. Give us a nice subscribe, like the video, and share so others can get value out of it as well. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why I went like that. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Take care of each other.